Are you someone who constantly looks tired? Your friends are always asking you if you've gotten any sleep. You start to feel like you're cosplaying a raccoon. Cause girls save. I hate it here. I spent over $1,000 trying every eye cream ever made, and these are the best. Now I bet you're wondering, Hiram, why on earth would you spend over $1,000 on eye creams? For years, I have really struggled with dark circles. And I know you're watching right now thinking, Hiram, what dark circles? Right? Please tell me you're thinking that. Darkness, hyperpigmentation spots, especially around my eyes that are not going away.
Oh yeah, I see it. Clear as day.
Here's the thing, when I'm in good lighting, they're not that noticeable, but out and about every day, it's actually one of my biggest insecurities because my dark circles are very pronounced, very noticeable, and it's why I am constantly wearing sunglasses wherever I go, like a celebrity hiding from the paparazzi. It's ridiculous. So about 2 years ago, I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm gonna start on the skincare hunt to find the best eye cream in existence. And over $1,000 later, here we are. I've tried every single eye cream I can find for dark circles. Some of them were awful, some of them didn't do anything, some of them were all right, and some of them literally transformed my skin. And so I want to rank all of the eye creams that I have tried to set you up with the best eye cream to target your dark circles. Are you ready? Let's go, because we have a lot of eye creams to jump into. Now, there's just not enough time for me to be able to fit every single eye cream that I've tried into this video because the limit does not exist. Instead, I'm going to highlight all of the eye creams that really stood out, whether it be that they are the most viral, super popular, really affordable, or the ones that actually worked. Say hello to my friendly tear maker. It's been so long. Good to see you again. I'm gonna rank all of these eye creams into 4 different categories. First, starting off with All Nighter. These are the eye creams that basically did nothing, made no difference, made my skin even worse, or yes, made me look like I had just pulled an all-nighter. The next ranking is Power Nap. These are the ones that made a little bit of a difference, maybe made me look like I had just woken up from a nice power nap, but at the end of the day, really did nothing to address the root cause of the dark circles. The next ranking is Slept In. These are the eye creams that actually did make a pretty good difference, were really enjoyable to use, and made me look like I had slept in that morning. You know, I got a few extra hours. And the next category is Beauty Sleep. These are by far the most powerful formulas, just incredible eye creams or products that really worked to fade as much darkness as possible and makes you look like you've been getting your beauty sleep. As we go into this ranking, I want to say that all the affiliate links for the products that I'm mentioning will be linked in my description box below. If you want to get some great eye creams, support the channel, and help me pay off the ridiculous amount of money I've spent on eye creams, I'd really appreciate it if you shop from those links below. Okay, so let's start off with one of my favorite skincare brands, SkinFix. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that the SkinFix Triple Lipid Barrier Peptide Cream is one of my favorite moisturizers of all time, but I decided to give their eye cream a try because it specifically talks about how it helps with moisturizing the under eye area and also dark circles. And bruh, this one was a disappointment. I feel like maybe if you have really dry under eyes, you would like this formula, but for me, it gave me milia. And if you don't know what milia is, it's the little bumps that pop up under your eyes. I really only have had 2 products that gave me milia, and this was one of them. I had really high hopes for it, especially because I love other SkinFix products, but this one was a huge disappointment, and it actually took a while for my skin to recover afterwards. I'm gonna have to put the SkinFix eye cream in the all-nighter category. I really had high hopes for this product, but boy, it made my eyes worse, and I definitely would not recommend this one. Next up is not actually an eye cream, but more of an eye serum, and it has a cult following. It is the Ordinary Caffeine Solution. This by far was one of the highest recommended products for targeting dark circles and puffiness under the eyes, and I will say, you know, there's a lot of benefits to having caffeine in skincare, specifically in regards to puffiness, and I really had high hopes for this product, especially because I think The Ordinary is amazing and they have a lot of really powerful products, but this one, I didn't really notice a difference with my dark circles. Did I notice that it helped with some of my under eye puffiness, which is something I definitely struggle with as well? Yes. I didn't really notice any major differences besides that. However, I do think the ingredient list is really good. There's a lot of goodies in this formula that are great for helping with the health and the strength of the under eye area, and I definitely think it's a good product if you know, are worried about developing dark circles in the future, you want to reduce under eye puffiness, or you're starting to notice a little bit of darkness, but overall, it just left a lot to hope for. At the same time, it's a stellar price point. I mean, you really can't get better than the ordinary price points. So for that reason, I'm gonna put this one in Power Nap. It's a great one, you know, with good ingredients, but not enough to target these bad boys. So next up is the First Aid Beauty Niacinamide Eye Cream. I've talked about this product so many times on my channel. It's been featured as one of the best eye creams, or really one of the only eye creams that I've used over the past like 5-6 years. Not only do I love First Aid Beauty as a brand, but I really enjoyed using this product because it has a nice tint to it that's kind of like a midpoint between an eye cream and a concealer. I don't know about you, but I hate wearing concealer. I've tried it many a times when my dark circles are really acting up. Just using concealer on its own never really looks right. But for this eye cream, because it's more of like a tinted formula, it adds a really nice benefit to the under eye area to make it look a little bit more bright. And it does have good ingredients. I mean, niacinamide is one of the main ingredients, and niacinamide is commonly used to be able to fade hyperpigmentation and dark spots in the skin. But I will say, as much as I love it, it doesn't really do a lot to address the deeper darkness or more intense dark circles. It's a nice addition to your routine to just get a good eye cream formula that has kind of like that coverage. But as far as actually erasing my dark circles, especially as they've gotten worse over the past like 2 years, it just didn't do as much as I was hoping it would do. That being said, I still think it's an amazing eye cream. I love recommending it all the time. And especially if you're someone, you know, who has a little bit of darkness, you're wanting just a nice eye cream that you can add into your routine that feels like makeup but isn't makeup, I think this is a perfect one for you, and I still enjoy using it to this day. So for that reason, I am going to put the First Aid Beauty Eye Cream in the slept in ranking. It makes you look awake, it's a nice little oomph, but by no means is it the most powerful eye cream that I've ever tried. Now, in my hunt for finding the best eye cream, there was one product that kept popping up in every forum I would read, all the articles, best-selling lists, and so I knew I had to give it a shot, and boy was I disappointed. I hate this product. Okay, hate is a strong word. I just don't understand the hype around this product. The Eucerin Radiant Tone Eye Cream Dark Circle Corrector. I remember first looking at the ingredient list for this product and I was like, it's kind of interesting that it has so many positive reviews, that it's so popular, because it doesn't necessarily have any like super impressive ingredients for fighting hyperpigmentation and dark spots, but because it was so highly rated, I was like, I'll give it a shot. I feel like I don't hate the eye cream formula itself as much as I hate the applicator. This is one of those eye creams that comes in like the metal massager thingy. I don't know, I'll put up a picture so you can see. I tend to get really annoyed by this type of packaging because every single time I've used an eye cream that has this type of packaging, it always ends up pulling and tugging on my under eye area so much more than if I were to just pat the formula in with my fingers. And also, if you want it to have a smooth glide, you need to squeeze out a ton of the product, which is just wasting an excessive amount of eye cream that I could have just used by applying it on my fingers. I don't know why so many brands insist on this type of packaging when every single time I use one, I end up just squeezing it out on my fingers and patting it onto my under eye area. But I also have to say, I was very disappointed with the actual results. I didn't really notice any brightening power with this formula. It has a nice finish to it that adds like a little bit of corrective power, but beyond that, after I was consistently using it, I just never really noticed any wow results. And I'm still left very confused as to why this is like one of the highest rated eye creams out there for dark circles, because it just did nothing for me. I'm sorry, I just didn't love it and I don't understand the hype, but I mean, what's new? I feel like 99% of the time whenever I buy a product that's really hyped up, I am always disappointed. So it's continuing on that trend, I guess. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting this in the all-nighter category. I had a lot of hopes for it, but that $20 went down the drain, so not worth it. Next is the Summer Fridays eye cream, and I think this was like the first more luxury eye cream that I decided to invest in because I had heard a lot of good things about it. I do like Summer Fridays as a brand, and at that time I was thinking maybe it's time to invest in a little bit more of a luxury eye cream to see if it actually makes a difference, and this one did not at all. It is an elegant formula and it feels very nice applying it on the under eye area, so I guess it delivers luxury on that front. But besides that, I really didn't notice any difference on my under eye areas. I used this one for a long time and finally just gave up after a while because I was like, okay, I don't think this is doing literally anything. Is it a bad eye cream? No, but contrasting the price point with the actual results, go girl, give us nothing. Absolute zilch results. So for that reason, I am also going to be putting this one in the all-nighter. Damn! Man, I'm being extra negative in this video so far. I promise there's good ones to come. Now, if you've been a longtime viewer of my channel, you know that I have a soft spot for CeraVe. I think they offer really good, simple, but effective skincare. And one of those products that I've actually recommended on my channel before is the CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. And I think this is a great, simple eye cream. I feel like I've always introduced it on my channel as like a good starter or introductory eye cream to make sure that you're properly nourishing and hydrating your under eye area while preventing, you know, damage from occurring down the road. And this eye cream was great when I didn't really struggle with dark circles. But once my dark circles started getting more severe, this one just didn't really do anything anymore. And I will say, this doesn't necessarily claim to be an eye cream that's going to wipe away your dark circles. I feel like, you know, it's more focused on moisture, nourishment, and it has some great ingredients, but overall, it just leaves a lot to the imagination when it comes to actually brightening any hyperpigmentation or darkness on the under eye area. But it is a good starter eye cream, and I still recommend it, so I would put this in the power nap category. Good, simple eye cream, keeps you moisturized, but that's about it. Now, this wouldn't be an eye cream video if I didn't talk about the most viral product on this list. I swear there was a time on TikTok where this product was being recommended every third video. It was inescapable. But it's from a Korean brand I love. It is the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum. You guys probably know this one. There were so many creators on TikTok saying that this completely erased their dark circles and also helped with fine lines and wrinkles on the eye area. And honestly, I really appreciate this formula because it's one of the only ones on this list that features a retinoid. And retinoids can be really powerful, not only for helping to fade hyperpigmentation and darkness on the under eye area, but for targeting premature aging, fine lines, and wrinkles. And looking at the ingredient list alone, I was like, yes, this is gonna work so well. I finally found my eye cream. And you know what, guys? I really gave this a long shot. I think I went like 4 or 5 consecutive months using this every single night. I really tried, but unfortunately this really just did nothing for my dark circles, which makes me really sad because every other Beauty of Joseon product I am obsessed with. I feel like their formulation philosophy represents like the highest tier of Korean skincare innovation out there. But after a while I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to give this one up because it's just not doing what I need it to do. I'm not really noticing any results. Is it a nice serum? Yes. Is the formula amazing? Yes. And does it work for a lot of other people? It seems to appear so, but for moi, it just wasn't enough. And I think at this point in time was when I realized like, ooh, okay, my dark circles are a lot more severe than I thought. And I'm really gonna have to start searching for ultra powerful formulas if I want to target mine. You know what, I'm gonna put it in slept in. It may not have worked for me, but you know, there's a reason why this one is so viral and so many people have said that it's just like changed their lives. So I don't wanna ignore that. I like everything about it. I just wish I saw more from it. Okay, we're not even halfway through. I gotta speed this up. Sorry, y'all. This is very personal to me. I can yap about it all day long. Next up is actually what I believe is the first eye cream for dark circles that I ever tried. It was one that people were constantly raving about. It was very popular at the time. I don't know if it's still as popular, but it definitely has made a name for itself, and it is the Sunday Riley AutoCorrect Brightening and Depuffing Eye Cream. This one is expensive, but it has a big cult following, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Big mistake.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
My eyes got very irritated after using this one. And this was way back before I became like super strict about ingredient lists and was kind of more so going off of what people recommended me. And once I looked at the ingredient list, I found that there were a lot of fragrant components in this one. Citrus extracts, irritating fragrances, and I don't believe I used it for very long. Even though I did notice that some of the darkness seemed to go away on my under eye area, I still was like, this is too irritating. It's making my under eyes really red. I don't like that there's fragrance in it. And it's pricey as fuck. So for that reason, I'm also gonna put this one in all-nighter. Sorry, Sunday Riley, but you just didn't do it for me. Also, why are companies still putting fragrance in eye creams nowadays? I just don't understand it. The eye area is so sensitive. There's really no reason for fragrance to be in an eye cream because you can't even smell it. If anything, the fragrance can waft up to your eyeballs and make your eyes more red and irritated. I don't know. I don't get it, but yeah, I did not like that one. The Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. This is by far one of the most popular eye creams out there, especially for younger people who are wanting to target dark circles. And you know what? I've talked about it about on my channel before, I really like this one. I feel like it's very similar to the First Aid Beauty eye cream in the sense that it has good ingredients and it has a nice tint to it to offset any darkness on the under eye area. But unlike the First Aid Beauty one, which has a little bit more of like a shimmery tint, this one is more of like a tinted cream. So I would say it's a little bit more subtle than the First Aid Beauty one, but still adds like a what am I saying? A nice yellow corrective tint to the under eye area. I really enjoyed using this one. I think, you know, there is a reason why it is so popular. That being said, after using it for a while, I did notice that my dark circles were still sticking around. Like, it helped a little bit to brighten the under eye area, but it just wasn't enough to target the severity of my dark circles specifically. But besides that, I think it's a great formula. I really like the tint. It checks all the boxes in every other category. So for that reason, I'm going to put this one in Slept In. Gives you a nice appearance, makes you look a little bit more awake, but just not enough for my impossible standards. Are you sensing a pattern that my standards are just too high? Welcome to the channel. Next up is the Inkey List Caffeine Eye Cream. This is also another eye cream that's very frequently recommended across forums of people talking about how they loved using it not only to depuff their under eye area, but also to help with brightening it. And while I think that this is a good formula, I mean, of course, I love the Inkey List and their formulation philosophy. This one, I feel like really only works for depuffing the under eye area and not really for darkness. Or if it did help some people with darkness, maybe they just started getting dark circles or something. I don't know. I don't really feel like this does anything to really address the root cause of dark circles beyond just depuffing your under eyes. I would actually recommend the Inkey List Retinol eye cream more than this one for dark circles, but for some reason the caffeine eye cream is one of the most mentioned in a lot of forums and websites that I was looking at in doing research for this video. It's a good eye cream and I love how affordable it is, but it just doesn't do enough. So I'm gonna put this one in Power Nap. By no means is it the worst, and it didn't make my under eyes worse, but it just didn't do enough. And again, I would recommend the Retinol eye cream from the Inkey List more if you're wanting more of a powerful result. Next up is, again, one of the most popular eye creams for dark circles. Sorry, I know I keep saying that a lot, but a lot of this list is compiling like some of the most viral and popular eye creams I could find. It is the ROC Retinol Anti-Wrinkle and Dark Circle Eye Cream. It kind of has a cult following, and consistently I found this one ranked at the top of lists of a bunch of different articles and websites that I was looking at. And I totally get it because I do love ROC. Their price points are amazing, and the fact that this has retinol in it, one of the most powerful ingredients for helping to fade hyperpigmentation and dark spots, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. And you know what? It's good. It is good. It's good.
You sure about that?
But I think for me, it was kind of a similar experience to the Beauty of Joseon eye serum, where on paper, on the ingredient list, everything was good. I just didn't see enough results to actually brighten the darkness on my under eyes. It just didn't do quite enough, even though I totally understand the hype and I think the ingredient list is great and I love using retinol on the under eye area. It just wasn't powerful enough on its own, but still a great product. So I'm gonna put this one in Slept In. And this is definitely one that I would recommend, especially if you're starting to look for an eye cream and you don't wanna have to spend a lot of money. This is a great one to start with, but I just wish it did more. All right, we finally have a really good product. This one I have only been using for the past few months, but I will admit I've been very impressed by, but it came at a pretty penny. I was postponing purchasing this one because I was like, oh gosh, it's kind of expensive and you know, I've already spent a lot, but I saw that this one was really highly recommended and I finally bit the bullet and got it, and it's really good. It is the Dr. Dennis Gross Firm and Brighten Eye Treatment. One of the main appeals to this product is that it has a really powerful form of vitamin C paired with lactic acid, and it's in a nice lightweight gel consistency that really quickly absorbs into the under eye area. I started using this one overnight and I've been consistently using it overnight for the past few months. It's really good. I have seen noticeable results. Is it the best eye cream I've ever tried? No, I'll get into that soon. I think this one is $70, which is just way more than what I usually pay for skincare products. I mean, my God, it is just so expensive. I've been very impressed with the results. As I've tried more eye creams over the past year, I started noticing that my dark circles were getting worse, and I feel like over the past few months, my dark circles have gotten significantly better compared to what they were before. The one warning for this one I will say is that it is pretty intense. Sometimes I noticed a slight stinging sensation on my under eye area, which I think is probably due to the lactic acid and concentration of vitamin C in the formula, but I never noticed any redness or irritation from consistently using this one. And even though this one was over my budget, I have to say I enjoy it. I think there's a reason why it is so popular, and I don't know, I was very impressed by the experience, and I'm gonna keep using it to see how my skin continues to like it, but so far so good. This deserves to be the first product in the beauty sleep category. Congratulations, Dr. Dennis Gross. I know I have roasted a lot of your products in the past, but this one works. Of course, I have to mention the Selfless by Hyram Retinol and Rainbow Algae Repair Serum. The reason why I want to talk about this one is because I feel like when it comes to retinol products, I really haven't been able to find any products that I can use both on my face and under eye area to target hyperpigmentation and dark spots. But with the Retinol and Rainbow Algae Repair Serum, we specifically formulated it to be able to target acne scars, dark spots, hyperpigmentation, but still be at a gentle enough level where you can use it every day or for people who have the most sensitive skin. But the great thing about the Selfless Retinol Serum is that I'm able to use it all over my face. So a lot of times I love using this serum with my moisturizer and just applying it on the under eye area in addition to the rest of my face to make sure that I'm getting that retinol fix without risking sensitivity and irritation. And if you're someone who wants like a 2-in-1 product where you don't have to buy a separate eye cream from your face serum, I would say the Selfless Retinol one is definitely the best and the only product that I've ever used that has retinol that can be used on both areas. And while I do love using it on my under eye area, I will say because it is more of a gentle formula that's formulated specifically for people who have more sensitive skin, for people who are just starting on their retinol journey, or for people who want to use it every day, it's really powerful, but not quite powerful enough for my under eye area. As I talked about before, I've used eye creams that literally have retinoids. So while I love using the Selfless one for both my face and under eyes, it's not the most powerful formula that I've ever used. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in the slept in category. But again, if you're someone who's wanting that 2-in-1 product, I would highly recommend it. The BeautyStat Cosmetics Universal C Eye Perfector. This one got so much hype online. Just seeing how many people were raving about it online, I was like, okay, I guess this is the next product I'm going to be trying. This one is quite unique of an eye cream. It has a more like silicone-y feel, which I feel like is really nice if you're someone who kind of has texture on your under eye area, you want to add a blurring effect, or you want to fill in any like fine lines near your eyes. I feel like this one is perfect for that, and I quite enjoyed like how my under eye looked. However, it didn't quite give me the results that I was hoping for. I feel like this is a more gentle eye cream in terms of brightening power, and while it wasn't bad, it just didn't quite do enough. And I would put this one in the slept in category. However, it was pretty expensive. Like I had to be persuaded to buy it because I was seeing it in so many articles and so many people recommending it. And given the actual size of the product, I don't know, I feel like it's just a little overpriced for what I was expecting. So I'm probably gonna put this one in Power Nap. It's a good formula, great ingredients, but just didn't quite do enough for what I was expecting, especially with the price point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gays and nays, we are on to the final two. And I have to talk about this next eye serum because when I tell you that this is the only one that has consistently worked, that I find myself returning to over and over again, I think I've bought like 4 bottles of this one alone. It is so amazing. The Peter Thomas Roth Potency Eye Serum. I've talked about this on my channel before. It really blew me away the first time I used this one because at that point I was so used to trying out eye creams for months that would give me no results or very little results. And I remember the first time I used this one, the next morning I woke up, my eyes looked brighter after one use. I know. It really is the most powerful formula I've been able to find, and I am so impressed by it. This is really an eye cream that you do have to be using every day because it has pure ascorbic acid. And one of the downsides to ascorbic acid is that it does tend to go bad after a short period of time. So speaking from personal experience, this is not the type of eye cream that you can have on your shelf for like 2 years and expect to see the same results. The formula does oxidize after a certain amount of time. So I found that if I use this within 6 months, I'm good. But if I have it for any longer than 6 months and I'm not consistently using it every day, the formula will oxidize. And I know these seem like really big drawbacks, especially for how picky I've been for every other eye cream I've talked about in this video, but I've just never been able to find a formula that works as well as this one does. So for that reason, I'm putting this one in Beauty Sleep. After I'm done trying out the Dr. Dennis Gross one for a little bit longer and going through this formula, I'm sure as hell going to be repurchasing the Peter Thomas Roth Potency Eye Serum. It's amazing. And then finally, for the last formula, I do want to mention Tretinoin. If you're not familiar with what Tretinoin is, it's a prescription retinoid that you can get prescribed by a dermatologist or dermatology provider. I personally have been using Tretinoin for the past few years. I use it like a few times a week, and I get mine from Dermatica, but you can also go through like Curology or actually like go to a dermatologist to get your own Tretinoin. Tretinoin is one of like the most powerful ingredients that you can use on your skin to fade deep set skin damage, to fight against premature aging, and specifically to help with acne scarring, dark spots, and hyperpigmentation, including dark circles on your under eye area. Now, while Tretinoin is known to be like the gold standard best ingredient ever for fighting darkness and hyperpigmentation in the skin, it is really, really powerful and has the potential to really sensitize and irritate your skin. And every time I've tried to use Tretinoin on my under eye area, even though I have like the lowest dose of Tretinoin you can get, I still notice irritation and sensitivity. Even though the rest of my face doesn't react, my under eye area does, which is really frustrating because I know it works, but at the same time, it's just whether it be redness, bumps, or eczema, my under eye area really, really doesn't like Tretinoin. I'm comfortable putting this one in Beauty Sleep because it is ultra powerful. And I will say, for my face, Tretinoin has been absolutely incredible and I love using it. But for the under eye area, it's only something that I can use like maybe once every few weeks, if that, because dealing with the sensitivity and irritation afterwards is just not worth it. Whew, hi guys. Sorry if that was a jump scare. I know we're in a different location, but I had filmed like a whole other section of that video and it got corrupted. Like almost all of my videos do nowadays. Technology. So I'm just gonna refilm what I was saying because I feel like this is really important to add on to the conversation when it comes to eye creams and dark circles. As someone who has now spent over $1,000 on eye creams alone,
stop it, get some help.
I feel like at this point I've gotten a pretty good understanding of what eye creams can do, but also their limitations depending on what type of dark circles you have. Because unfortunately, not all dark circles are created equally, which means not all dark circles can be treated by an eye cream alone. And I want to dive into all the different types of dark circles in order to help you basically save a lot of money and not make the same mistakes that I did when it comes to actually treating your dark circles in a way that's going to give noticeable results. So let's get into each type of dark circle. The first one being the most common type, pigmented dark circles. This is the one that is best suited for eye creams. This is where you see an excessive amount of pigmentation on the under eye area, whether it's spots, splotches, or general darkness that starts to appear over time that wasn't previously there before. That's a pigmented dark circle. And eye creams can really be beneficial for these types of dark circles because these types of dark circles are more surface level. In the same way where you would find dark spots on your face, that's basically what's going on your under eye area. So that's where a vitamin C eye cream or a retinol eye cream can be really beneficial. And I would really say if you're the type of person who has never really experienced dark circles before, but you have been noticing them more recently, when you pull out your skin on your under eye area, you notice that the darkness moves with it because it's more topical. That's a pigmented dark circle, and eye creams are going to work great for you. The second type of dark circle is vascular dark circles, and these are usually a product of either lifestyle choices or the natural byproduct of things like aging, stress, or lack of sleep. These type of dark circles can't be corrected with eye creams alone. There needs to be lifestyle changes made in order to see an improvement in those dark circles. So this is really common for people who don't get a lot of sleep. If you're experiencing a lot of stress, high cortisol can contribute to those dark circles, or if you're smoking. While yes, eye creams might be able to make a little bit of a difference, you're not really going to see any improvement until you make significant lifestyle changes. So if you're wondering why your dark circles aren't going away, but you're also only getting 4 hours of sleep a night, that's your problem, baby. Fix your lifestyle, then work on an eye cream. And then we have the most frustrating dark circle category of all, genetic or structural dark circles. And this is what I have. Basically, with the physical structure of my face, I have indentation lines on my under eye area. They have always been there, and depending on what type of lighting I'm in, like if it's the cursed overhead office lighting, my dark circles look way worse than they actually are. Versus if I have, direct lighting like what I have now, they're significantly less noticeable. Or if you're someone who's always had a general darkness on your under eye area, like ever since you were a kid, both of these are genetic or structural dark circles. One of the easy ways to test if you have these types of dark circles is by pulling the skin on your under eye area and noticing if the darkness shifts or moves as you pull your skin. If it doesn't, that means that there is already darkness under the topical skin area. So no matter what eye cream you use, it's not going to make a difference because it's not a topical skin issue. It goes deeper than that. And for a long time, I was buying so many different eye cream products for dark circles, thinking that they would be able to help with this issue, when in reality, the only thing that can help get rid of genetic or structural dark circles is in-office treatments by a dermatologist or surgeries by a plastic surgeon. Some of the most common ways to target genetic or structural dark circles is first by tear trough filler or under eye filler, which really isn't like a popular solution anymore. I feel like a lot of plastic surgeons and dermatologists are kind of opting to not do this on patients. But there's also PRP or PRF, which is basically where they extract your own plasma, mix it with a solution, and inject it into your under eye area. That not only helps to fill any hollowness on your under eye area, but it can also help to brighten any hyperpigmentation as well. There's also fat transfer, which is becoming increasingly more popular, or the most long-term solution, and one of the most common surgeries out there, an under eye blepharoplasty, which is basically where they create an incision right along your eye line, rearrange everything down there so that it's nice and smooth underneath your eye, stitch it back up, and you're good to go basically for the rest of your life. And I know it's super frustrating to hear that basically the only solutions are either like an in-office treatment or literal plastic surgery. Trust me, I know, but the reason I wanted to highlight this is so that you don't make the same mistake I did, because I went so many years trying every type of dark circle eye cream out there for a problem that can't be fixed by an eye cream. It's literally genetic and structural. And then actually the fourth type of dark circle, but this is also an issue that can exist kind of anywhere on your face, and I actually recently have been struggling with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Basically, this is your body's way of responding to any type of products that you're using by saying, hey, chill out, calm down, you're doing way too much. And I actually started getting post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation because of this video. I was trying out so many different eye creams, and I think my skin has just had enough because I've started getting darkness, hyperpigmentation spots right here. And as I've started to use stronger treatments and more powerful eye creams, I've noticed they've just been getting worse and worse, which is a telltale sign that I'm struggling with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and I need to chill out with the products. And you might be struggling with this too. And if you're buying a bunch of different eye creams or trying a bunch of different products and you're only noticing that your darkness is getting more and more pronounced, it might be PIH. And the best thing you can basically do is just focus on the basics, use your sunscreen, your moisturizer, your cleanser, but chill out with the eye creams and serums and give your skin a break. After a while, like a few months, you can try using brightening products again. Or if it's still a problem, I definitely would recommend going to a dermatologist. So if nothing else, learn from my example in this video that using too many products or going too overboard with the high concentration formulas, the power pack serums and eye creams, be careful, go low percentage and go slow, because it's easy for your skin to start freaking out and respond by creating more hyperpigmentation than you even had in the first place. You feel me? Anyway, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on all of these eye creams. Have you tried any of them? Which ones are your favorites? Or tell me about what type of treatments that you've gotten for your dark circles that have been really beneficial. I would definitely appreciate it, and I know a lot of the people who are watching this video and digging around in the comment section would also appreciate it, so feel free to leave a comment. And please let me know if you want to see more videos like this. I mean, I want to be careful with my skin, but I'm totally down to do this again with a different type of product category, of course. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week, and I will see you guys in the next one.